Queen's Comic Podcast. Hey, let's go.
Hey, what's up, folks? It's the Queen's Comic Podcast. I'm Billy Bombs.
I'm Ian.
And this week's episode, we're going to talk about our new trip to Route 110, who changed locations, and give them credit because now they have a bathroom.
They do. The old one had a bathroom. This is a better bathroom.
The old one had no door.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah, you don't remember why I carried the rope at all the shows?
Oh, on the stall. There was no door on the stall, right?
I brought a bungee cord. Why the work bag when we do shows has a bungee cord.
Smart.
Yeah, that's so dumb on my part, but I thought it was funny. You know what I mean? Well, what can you do? Do you want to start off with what topic do we have other than showing off books? Really?
I think that's it.
Fair enough. I found John the Mailman finally. Turns out he got into a fight at Route 110, and they had to leave.
Oh, that's very unlike him.
Oh yeah. He's the aisles in two sections were very narrow to fit in like a guy's big display.
Mm-hmm.
But he got it in there, but it was just it just created a little bottleneck.
There were a couple of bottlenecks at that show. Yeah, I found that myself. A little tight.
But it was fun. I got some good shit.
Yeah, we both did. It was a good show. I'm glad we went.
We learned a lesson too.
Yep.
When you see something, just buy it now. Don't wait. It's all right. We lost out on a Rosetta book. We were both kind of vying to get it, but it happens. But what can you do? Do you want to start off because you did Street Side Anthony Saturday?
Yeah, I got a big pile of books. Some of them came from Anthony's on Saturday. Some of them came from Route 110. I'm just going to go in the order in which they are piled.
Go for it.
So, yeah, I got issues 2, 3, love that cover, and
That's
4 of Dark Ivory, the Joseph Michael Linsner series. I do not have issue 1, so these will sit unread until I find issue 1. But they were priced well, $3 a piece. So I was happy to grab those, even just for the covers, but I do want to read them. This came from you, I think. An issue of Dragon Ring. Yeah. So
I dropped them off to you finally.
Right. So I'm missing one issue now to finish that run. I don't know why I'm trying to finish that run. It's not an especially great series, but sometimes these things get stuck in my brain, and the completist mentality in me is like, nope, got to have them all. So
no, hell yeah, man, go for it.
I'll find it in the dollar bin. It's not an expensive book. And then from Anthony on Sunday, not on Saturday, because I saw him both days, I got all 3 issues of Fog City Comics, which is an underground book from the 70s, published in Vancouver, Canada. It's got some art by Rand Holmes in it. I'm a big Rand Holmes fan, so I was happy to get those. There's the first issue, second issue, which is maybe a little not safe for work now that I see that. And then the third issue, which is kind of, there's like a bit of a Wally Wood thing going on with these covers, especially the second one, which I will, again, Oops. Where'd it go? Hiding on me. This one here. Definitely. I mean, EC was a big influence on the underground comics. We know that. But this one here, he's channeling Wally Wood for sure, I think.
Yeah, but check out the border around that screen.
Yeah, exactly.
Very eager for comics, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. I was happy to get those. That's the full run. And I got a great price on those. I found this was a cool score. I found this in a dollar bin. This
very nice.
Some of Sam Keith's really early work. It's a Fantagraphics compilation. It's not easy to find. There is a second issue.
And I love Sam Keith.
Yeah, I do too. There is a second issue, which I will find at some point. I might have to pay more than $1 for it. These usually go for $20, $30. So I was happy to score that. An issue of Daredevil I needed. It's in the Miller run, but Miller didn't work on this particular one. I guess he took the month off. Issue 162. I haven't opened it yet, but I'm going to open it right now because I think Steve Ditko did this one.
Maybe. I remember Ando Cinti taking over for him, but not in those 160 eras.
Yeah, it's a fill-in issue with art by Steve Ditko.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So that finished that 158 to 190 whatever Daredevil run that Miller worked on. This was just a hole in that I needed to fill, even if Miller didn't work on it. This was a dollar bin score, Doc Frankenstein #2 by the Wachowskis.
put that up, right?
Yeah. So I don't know. I haven't had time to read it yet, but it's a killer cover. And then these came from the collection we picked up together that you handed over the other day.
Yeah,
Cryptodon.
Brandon signed book.
Yeah, signed by Linsner. Again, I'm a big fan, so I was happy to get that. And then So Dark the Rose, which looks like some pretentious goth nonsense published by CFD. But, I mean, killer rights and cover on that. Very, very cool. And the Night of the Living Dead Aftermath, which is part of the Fantico run from the late 80s, I believe, possibly early 90s, but I think it's late 80s. So I didn't have that one. And then also from that collection came two other undergrounds that I didn't have. The second issue of Bijou Funnies.
Oh, that's from me. That's not from.
Oh, no,
that's
that's not from the collection. Right, that was from you. Yeah.
Brown Knife.
With a little sappy, snammy snoot action on the front there.
Mm-hmm.
And then San Francisco comic book #2.
Yeah, that's from the same collection.
Yeah, may have some inappropriate things with a duck happening in it.
Yeah, that's from SVA college professor from the 70s.
Right, right. And then from our friend JC, Lone Wolf Comics on Instagram, he gave me a great price on that.
So jealous, man.
Couldn't say no to it.
He gave me so much stuff though, so I was happy.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'll find it. We'll find another one. The next one we come across.
That's why I'm never worried. When you live in a major metropolitan city, you'll always find comics.
Yeah, and that book, it's not like super rare or anything. There's a lot more. A lot of Dave Stevens stuff is hard to find. That one is not. And then also from JC, I got the Aliens Purge one shot.
That's cool. I never seen that cover. What a beautiful cover.
Yeah, it's great. So slowly but surely filling in the holes in the Dark Horse Aliens run. I have most of them at this point, but there's still a handful that I don't. That was one of them. And let's see, what else did we get from Route 110? So as I've mentioned a few times now, my wife and I are fairly obsessed with the old Nancy comics, and I always pick them up when they're cheap. So this one ran me $5. It's also a great Funhouse cover. I'm a sucker for like old school horror and Funhouse and Halloween covers. So I love them. So I like that. And then this one here, which also has an early Charles Schultz Peanuts strip in it.
That guy had a great Golden Age collection.
He had amazing stuff. I don't know who that vendor was. I don't know that I'd seen him before, but he had great stuff.
He was all new.
Another Nancy and Sluggo for $5. Can't pass him up at $5. Also, I just realized that the sun is coming through the blinds and creating a weird line down my face. So whatever.
I didn't want to interrupt you while you were doing it.
And then a few other dollar bin scores. Time Twisted Tales, which has got art by Dave Sheridan in it. Oh, thank you. My wife just closed the curtain. And a Swamp Thing run filler that I needed. Very cool cover on that. And I guess maybe because I was at the Frazetta Museum a week ago, I wanted some more Frazetta stuff, so I picked that up for a measly, I think I paid $2 for it.
Isn't it crazy how like some of the stuff that's not EC is so like easy to find everywhere?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like you're an artist and you got better throw time and just people just collect it.
Yeah. And then a few other dollar bin pickups from Saturday when I was at Anthony's. JC was set up there as well. I got Uncle Scrooge and Money, which has got some Carl Barks Uncle Scrooge stuff in it. And I got Detective Comics number 470 with Dr. Phosphorus on the cover. And the second issue of the Harvey Spirit series.
Nice.
Thought those were pretty cool. And then the comics interview with, did this come from you or did this guy pick this up? I don't remember. I really don't.
No, that's from me.
Yeah. Either way,
because
Swamp Thing.
I have to get another copy for me.
Yeah. So Swamp Thing goodness. And then I guess the best new book I picked up this week, or the most interesting new book that I picked up this week, I haven't read it yet, so I can't say it's the best. I haven't read anything since last week, but Hate Revisited is now out again.
That's cool.
So, yeah, I like Peter Bagge stuff. I like the Buddy Bradley stories, so it's cool to see that this is back. Last but not least, for Father's Day, going back to the Nancy theme, my wife gave me this, which is a fantastic look at Ernie Bushmiller's life and career, done by Bill Griffith, the guy who did Zippy the Pinhead. So it looks like a prose book, but it's not. It's graphic novel format, the whole thing.
Oh, you thought it was a wordy?
Yeah, and I did, and I would have been happy either way. But it's really cool. Like the way it's done is kind of, I mean, it's done as a standard biography in a lot of ways, but then they'll also do things like pull you into an imaginary museum of Bushmiller's art, where like a pretentious art museum scholarly type will tell you like what makes his art meta or what makes his art surreal, or the importance of him breaking the fourth wall in the cartoon strips and how influential it was. So it's equal parts interesting and humorous, and it's a really fun read. I've been digging it. I'm like halfway through it already. So
Very nice. Yeah, I saw you had the bookmark.
right. So that's my stuff.
Cool. All right, I had a lot of stuff this week, but my shit comes with a lot of stories too.
Uh-huh.
So one at a time. You got me this Overstreet price guide that has a Radioactive Man and Fallout Boy. Oh no,
Yeah,
Bartman.
I picked that up on Saturday. I think that came from Lone Wolf.
Lone Wolf. That's awesome because I think I have almost every single goddamn thing with the Simpsons comics that is not the regular series and Bart Simpson. Everything else, I'm getting closer and closer.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I have this rare 1 in 25 Trad Moore cover of Ghost Rider.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I've been trying to work on this guy to come to one of our shows because he lives in Brooklyn, but he got supposedly he got like overwhelmed from New York Comic Con, so it's been like a little bit of an issue for him.
Who'd you get that one from?
That one, oh, these are all street sides that are coming up now.
Oh, okay.
All right, like this one, First Element Girl.
Yeah, that looks like it's in really nice shape for its age too.
Great shape. It's got little like you can tell it's red, but I love how they have what the hell is this guy? Stingery is just a ripoff of Scorpion.
Totally. Looks exactly like him.
Yeah, the Stingery. When I needed to finish up my Wizard magazine collection. So there's these random special editions I gotta grab.
Mm-hmm.
This one's a Spawn special edition.
You have all the standard issues, don't you?
Yeah, I have every single one. Now I just get the Wizard halves, the Wizard giveaways, Ace editions, which are the reprints of like Marvel Comics #1 and Captain America #1, which I didn't realize that was like there. Now it's this was like some flimsy book I'm gonna put for sale. Is in the back of one of the books I bought was Cable, and it's who the fuck needs Cable,
right?
But this is off a dollar bin, which these are highly volatile books. Angry Youth Comics. I never see them loose because the guys who collect them are people you don't want in your house. They're all weird. This one you grabbed me because you're like I think you need it. This is when we start going to JC's collection. We picked up Radioactive Man 222.
Yep.
Yeah, on the back of it was another book, was Cable, but like I don't think he cared if it was on there.
Right.
Here's a book that I needed, but I didn't know you needed it or not, so I waited for that. It's there's not the first Creature Commandos, but it's Weird World Tales starring the Creature Commandos.
Right. Yeah, the first one is issue 93. So that's like what, 112, I think?
118.
118, that was close.
But this is GI Robot, which is now like Jeff Johns is doing like a bootleg version of this.
Yeah, Junkyard Joe.
Yeah, and he thinks we're all stupid. Like, something wrong with that fucking guy. Sorry to be like that, but like seriously, he's full of shit.
I haven't read it, so I don't know if it goes in a different direction or not. But the similarities in the look of the characters are pretty.
It's so close.
Yeah,
it's like me standing next to John Belushi. It's so close. It could be, And then this is another one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I never seen this before. I thought this was the back of another book.
It's not. That's the front cover.
Another Simpsons book. It's not a flip over cover like the others. This is its story one shot, which now drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Hold on. Actually, I got more from Street Side. Let me continue on with the one more book I got from JC. Is this book? It says 50 on it. I didn't pay 50. It's the third Batwoman. I just like this cover.
I like that cover too. What are they doing in that cave there?
Bag at the show, and I was kind of like hiding out a little bit, but then I started walking around like picking up books.
Right.
And I just love this one. And then you know the story behind this one. I wasn't gonna grab this, but like just in case.
Right.
Girl I used to see comes back. I got her signed the Hedgehog.
Nothing's newsstand. Newsstand
huh?
too. It's a newsstand.
Yeah, newsstand. First issue, Scott Shaw, which I don't know him too well, but this looks awesome. If she don't end up stabbing me, I'm gonna give this to some girl. I wish I could tell that joke I said when we split because that was pretty funny. And And then I'm a big fan of Michael Cho, so I'm trying to collect all his Fantastic Four. I'm missing one more, but then I'll have all four covers. The one I'm missing is The Thing. I love his version of everybody. And then the guy where we got all those like odd books, you took one of these, but I don't really care. When we started getting the American Splendors.
Yeah, so the Corbin one I took. It turns out I actually have it, so it's yours next time I see you.
Oh, kick ass.
Yeah.
And then there's more of this. You know, yeah, but you never know. So better you guy who collects Corbin to have all.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
Yeah. And then the Dean Haspel's at all of our cons, so maybe I'll ask him to do it. Gilbert Hernandez.
That's a great cover.
Sorry for holding it sideways because I can't get over this cover.
Yeah, that's is that Darwin Cook?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think I have that issue.
It's Harvey Picard as the moon.
Yeah.
It's goofy. But all right, let me get after we left from the show, I went to work. And I had to go to work for a while and throw out garbage. But on the way back, I hit up a garage sale. And you know how those are. And
yeah,
I found
get lucky at those. I never do.
Huh?
You get lucky at those. I never do.
Oh, because I live in Hipsterville, so you always run into people who have been there for like 50 years.
Yeah.
Or they move out, and they've only been there a couple of months. But this one I loved, and the Heroes comic book. It's a wordy. But it's written by Gerard Jones.
Really?
Yeah, and you know, in and out of prison, he could write the sequel. And Will Jacobs, I know who Will Jacobs is, but Silver Age to the present. Gerard Jones is the one who got caught with the child stuff on his computer, and they won't reprint his JLX for the Amalgam Omnibus, and they won't reprint Volume 2 of the Green Lanterns that he wrote. Unless I'm getting that. Yeah, but I was like, why is he writing this? But then I remember he was the writer of Green Lantern at this time. I got you a book. It was only $1. I figured you need it.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I've seen that, but I don't have it. That's great.
Great, and I have one of these for myself. And I was like, oh, Ian, I love this. And my favorite thing is that there's Henry Rollins did a blurb for the back, and it says, has Glenn seen this? Trust me, he would not be amused. And I love this Coney book. And then
I like that Rollins has a sense of humor about it, though.
Oh yeah, he always does. You ever seen with Gilbert Gottfried and Up All Night? Like they're just hysterical. And there was a book I really wanted to check out that Street Side had, but the guy at the flea market had it too. Was kind of lucky. Mickey Rat #4.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I was like, what? I grabbed that, and then there was a couple other books. Some books I put on the side because we're gonna get rid of this, but this was hanging on the gate, so I grabbed it, called Avenue D.
I don't know that book.
Yeah, it's a Fantagraphics books from Mushroom City. I know nothing of it, but it just looks cool to me, and I just love stuff like this. There's two things that made me stop. Was this, and a really racist metal sign.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a Native American chewing tobacco. And it gets real, and I was taking both because one will stay in my garage. Not that I'm a big fan of all that stuff, but just you'll never see that shit again.
Right.
You know what I mean? I have Native American friends who might find that funny, and if they don't, they can just chuck it if they want. And then you ever heard of Joe Coleman?
Yeah.
I got his book.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah, I went before the pandemic broke out. I went with Phantom Creep to his gallery in the Bowery, and it was freaking phenomenal.
Yeah,
I love this man's artwork. This guy is exactly what I'm into when it comes to art. Like a lot of shit going on.
Oh yeah. There's always his paintings are crazy. There's so much detail and so much activity going on in them, and he's not afraid to, put it all out there either.
Yeah, no, not at all.
The censors could have a field day with him.
Yeah, but say again.
The censors could have a field day with him.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's what it was. Like we're going back later this week to go to get a collection from this guy, so I can't wait to see what else he's got.
Yeah, that's very cool. I want details on that.
Willing to get rid of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I'm sure you're dying to check it out now.
Absolutely.
Because if he had this stuff, but my favorite thing I got from there, was Presley dinner plate.
You got to eat off of it.
Nah, it's
A
the king.
a fried peanut butter banana sandwich.
All right, I can deal with that. I love stuff like this because it's so odd, and I love going out to find shit like that.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I mean?
cool.
Random street stuff. And then the guy was like, "Oh, come back. I'll show you more stuff." I was like, "Oh, hell yeah!" You know, I just I had to. It was right before Eid, so I had to be home,
Hmm.
so I couldn't hang out. And then he had a whole second floor just art.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so we'll go. We'll go this week.
Okay.
You know, you down?
I mean, depending on the timing.
Well, let's see. I'll call the guy. I got to go this week to his house and leave some stuff.
Okay.
And then I bought a case of Garbage Pail Kids, and they came with this one. Made me laugh. What's it called? Connor cosplay, where they hit themselves.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but the rest of the box just stunk. Um, I love comics. And it kind of made me laugh at like how much cool shit was there, like randomly. And the guy had a bunch of records, and like I like records too, but like I don't know nothing about jazz or all that stuff. I'm gonna go back later to try and get a Penn and Teller poster from the '80s, like one of those lobby card ones that are like this big, maybe, and that'd be kind of cool. And that's pretty much it because like I also got a Simpsons bag and from a worker bag. Like if you worked on the Simpsons, I got in the mail. Like I got a messenger bag.
All right, that's cool.
Yeah, like I realize I'm a little bit overdoing it, but like who cares?
Yeah.
And at this point in my life, I got jealous that you had a messenger bag to walk around with and put all your stuff in, and I'm walking around like holding stuff like a baboon.
So now we're equal.
Yeah, now we're equally carrying too many comics.
Yeah. Oh, one other thing I picked up on Saturday. Hold on.
Mhm.
Can't believe I forgot these. So, um, again from Lone Wolf, JC, I picked up Back Issue Magazine number 36.
Oh, that's a great cover.
Yeah, it's a Marvel Monsters issue. So I was really happy to get that. And then issue number 79, which covers the evolution of the Charlton action heroes from their origins in 50s and 60s Charlton books to how they were handled by DC. And
That's cool.
I'm a sucker for Charlton stuff. I don't know why, because most of it's really bad, but I am. And then
Well, you first appearance of the Question, right?
first appearance of Question was in Blue Beetle, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because Blue Beetle to get his first appearance is like the '40s, so you know what I mean.
Right.
I figure '60s.
Yeah. The original Blue Beetle goes back to the Golden Age.
Yeah.
But then JC also had a stack of these, and let's see, they're all the oversized EC reprints.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so we got the Vault of Horror, Weird Fantasy with that awesome Al Feldstein cover.
I just got volume 2 of that book, the trade.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I didn't know I was missing it.
Yeah. Two-Fisted Tales looks like a Jack Davis cover on that one, I believe. The Weird Science with the classic Wally Wood Aliens cover. Tell me that wasn't an influence on Mars Attacks, right?
Yeah. Most definitely.
And then another Tales from the Crypt with another Jack Davis cover, the Mummy issue, the Weird Science Fantasy issue, another Wally Wood cover. Love that one. So much detail in that.
Oh yeah.
And then another Tales from the Crypt with another Al Feldstein cover.
Classic. That's the legendary cover they used on the show.
Yep, classic stuff. And then from Anthony, I picked these up. I knew he had them. Like last year, I was helping him move some books around and organize some stuff. And I came across them and I was like, oh, are these for sale? And he was like, no, those are for the personal collection. But if I decide to let go of them, I'll let you know. And I guess he decided to let go of them. So I got issue 1 and issue 2 of the Marvel Nightmare on Elm Street magazines. I remember buying these off the rack from 7-Eleven when I was a kid, because we'd go to 7-Eleven on our lunch breaks when we were in school to play Tetris and drink Slurpees, and they had them there. And I had them for the longest time. And then I had a flood when I lived in Toronto, and all of my oversized stuff was not on a shelf. It was on the floor. So I lost all of my magazine size stuff and a lot of my paperbacks and hardcovers and whatnot. And those were in one of those boxes. So I was always intending to replace them at some point, you know, and then Anthony made me an offer I couldn't refuse. So
that's awesome. The only other thing I picked up that I really wanted to tell you about was I picked up some Kiss records on the street.
Oh, cool. Which ones?
I got the live one.
Uh-huh.
Both records in there, they scratched the shit. And then
Yeah.
Destroyer. But the greatest cover of any album will always be Kiss Alive 1.
It's pretty killer.
Yeah, and especially if it's a beat up cover and not just a photo, it's hard not to love it.
Yeah.
You know, like I love that book. I mean, I love that record. So you sing. And then other than that, like I did, I finally posted these up. If I can't show them my pillow, I ripped out all my pillows to like get clean, even though I think one of them is yellow as sin, but that's every man's pillow. But like I finally put up the Blacklight Silver Surfer and the Blacklight Fantastic Four posters, and I forget like how cool those were when they came out. Now Volume 2 came out of them, and they're kind of ugly compared to Volume 1.
Yeah,
the poster box, and one of them belongs to John the Mailman. He forgot to pick up. It's the Iron Man one.
Oh, okay. You've had that forever. The one that was
I've had like forever. I sold off so many of them. I never framed them.
Yeah.
You know, I've always been kind of too cheap to go buy them and get it over with. And to be honest with you, what's one thing that I really want to talk about is our friend Tommy. We got to get him help because he kept buying copies of Amputee Love graded.
He bought two of them.
That 2 amputated arms could carry them. And I thought that was the funniest shit I said to anybody all weekend.
Such a great book.
Say again?
I said it's such a great book, though. It's so twisted.
Yeah, but to get it graded is kind of funny because it's so hard to find these damn underground books.
Well, he bought the raw copy from Anthony last weekend, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago. Because Anthony,
and then somebody had it over there.
Yeah, so now and then on Sunday he bought a graded copy. So now he's got 2 of them.
That's what I'm saying. One for each missing arm.
There you go.
And the other Anthony, his friend, was dying.
Yeah.
Like we were just cracking up. I love finding indie books, but like I'm glad I don't have like a really big addiction to it, like to finish stuff. Like you guys do a little bit because you know you've been doing it for so long.
Yeah, I totally do.
Like finishing levels. And my thing is more East Coast shit. I'm looking for like World War III Illustrated, which I still can't find.
Yeah.
You know, I check on eBay every day and I have no luck. And I check in person with no luck. But I'll find it. But you don't have this problem, but I do, is like now I'm getting more into vintage toys again.
Right.
And I'm watching other guys' videos and I'm like, oh, I didn't know that exists. Let me buy that. I didn't know that exists. Let me buy that. I just bought a scrubbing bubble.
I said it's a slippery slope.
Yeah, totally. No, but I bought a scrubbing bubble. You know, remember the commercials?
Yes.
I saw that they had like a toy of that, and I was like, I gotta own this. And I'm gonna send it to that website. This is why I'm broke.com. Use a dumb shit like this. I love. So let's. There's one other thing I want to mention that Tommy pointed out is that if you send in a book with CGC, their new label of JSA authentication is beautiful.
Yeah, it's nice. He showed me that he had his Evil Ernie that was double signed, sent in and authenticated. It does look really nice.
That new label, I want to send in that John Byrne book that we found because I really want that, and I'm kind of regretting because there's a photo of me behind me of me and Joe Simon. Yep. But I had no comics that he worked on because obviously it's Captain America.
Right.
But I'd love to have something signed because back then they would still sign inside and send it in. You know, the only thing is though, like a lot of people want to take a photo of the inside of the signature and then send it in, which I get. Sure. But my question is that are they going to authenticate the inside of the book too, or just the outside cover signature?
No, I think they'll authenticate it regardless of where it's signed.
That'd be dope. Because I just want to have one John Byrne book. I have a Stan Lee book that I didn't get authenticated. Oh my God, I can get it authenticated now.
Yep.
My book is going to come back at 2 though.
Doesn't matter. You're probably not going to sell it or anything, right? Oh,
hell no, because it's a great story. It's one where I almost got banned by CGC for life from being online.
Well, you should tell that story.
I never told you the story?
You may have told me, but you probably haven't told the 10 people who might watch this.
There's even more than that over time. Trust me, I'm annoying. All right, we went to go meet Stan Lee his last year at New York Comic Con. They're like, last time ever. And there was this redheaded stepchild of a bastard of a man that ran the CGC line. And he would come up to you and be like, hey, you want to get a CGC? While everybody else in CGC is super cool, super nice, because it's still kind of fresh. Yeah. You know, getting stuff graded because you didn't really need it back then. This guy, this piece of shit, he started fighting with the guy in front of me and making fun of his book that he got. And it's a big book now, but back then it was not a big book. Marvel Tales with the black costume Spider-Man. Yeah. He's like, oh, this is a piece of shit book. Why would you get this signed by Stan Lee? And he was ripping this kid. And my buddy Joe Dillinger, if you're online, he looked at me and said, "Please don't get us kicked off the line. My back hurts. We've already been here for 4 hours." And I was talking to this girl behind me, and she even was like, "Please don't get us kicked off this line." Like, I'm just like swallowing my pride. I'm like, all right, he gets to me. I was like, just keep it moving, bro.
Yeah.
He looked at me and just kept it going. So I was like, whatever. It doesn't end there. I went to meet Stanley. The guy in front of me took off his sneakers and had Stanley sign them.
That's weird.
And it fucked me up. It befuddled me.
Yeah.
Because that made no sense. No sense whatsoever. It wasn't even Spider-Man shoes or something like that. But Stanley signed it. He gave me the fist bump and sweet old man. Then the guy behind me slaps a sticker on my book that says Stanley Authentication and then gives me a slip. Okay. So it's on the back. It says Stanley Authentic Autograph from Stanley. So I was like, oh, shit, I don't even need CG. So I was like, let me get the fuck out of here.
Right. 6
months later, I'm at Royal Collectibles, and they're doing a Valiant signing with my friend is doing a signing. She's there with their rep. I'm not going to say who it is because she's been a while since she worked for Valiant. This is when Valiant was coming back, and they were doing great. Exo Man of War was really good. That new run, it was like, have you read that Exo Man of War run?
No, just the first run back in the 90s.
Read it. It's so good. The guy went on to write, his name is Robert something. I'm having a brain fart. Robert Vendetti. Great run on Green Lantern, but it's based on his Exo Man of War run. Okay. Exo Man of War is phenomenal. But it wasn't him, it was somebody else. So they were doing other books. I was like, oh, let me check it out. Guess who's the CGC authenticator?
Same guy, right?
Big Red. Big Red. I was like, I saw him. I was like, oh, you remember me from New York Comic Con? You were making fun of the kid in front of me. He started to cry because you were making fun of him. He's like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about, buddy. He had like this funny accent. I was like, listen, you piece of shit. And then some of it went blank because I can't remember what I said to him. But they said I was yelling at him so hard that my shoes came off. Like, I was just screaming at him, and I was like, you're lucky I don't beat the shit out of you, you piece of crap. I was like, fuck it. If I'm going to get banned from the store, if I'm going to get banned and kicked out, I'm going to make it worth my while. I'm like a coach who's about to fight the Empire at a baseball game. I'm going to get my money's worth before I get thrown out. A week later, I go back in because I have to pick up my books, and I'm kind of scared. I walk in, and they're like, hey, guess what? They made the store an authenticated store, so we no longer need the CGC guy because he said he'll never come back here. I was like, you're welcome. This is before they started making other people authenticated. This is literally like good. I don't remember when Stanley passed away, but it had to be like in the early teens.
Yeah, it's been. I don't know if it's been 10 years yet, but it's close.
Yeah, because I think that 3 years after that, okay. They were still like holding him hostage doing those other shits. And
yeah, it's crazy how they would just kind of drag him out and make him sign things, and then leave with garbage bags full of cash.
Yeah. Yo, and mind you, with them, we had to pay online because they refused to take money.
Mm-hmm.
But I think online, people were like, oh, can I pay you a little extra, get another signature? They're like, oh, yeah. Do one at a time, you know?
Yeah.
But that was a fun time. And I love telling stories like that because it's like, screw it. If you're gonna go to hell, come on, bring them with you, man. You know what I mean? But that guy really made this kid. Nobody knew the significance of that book back then because it wasn't the first appearance. That was when there was 3 books coming out at the same time. The first appearance of the black costume.
You said Marvel Tales. You meant Marvel Team Up, I think, right?
It's the one where it's Spider-Man, Daredevil on the cover, where he's got the black costume.
Yeah, it's a Marvel Team Up.
I apologize. Yeah. It's Marvel Team Up.
Okay.
But it's that book because it was a graded 8.0. Broke it to have Stanley sign it.
Yeah.
And you know, like, and the guy was really nice. The guy taught me some stuff on there because he's like, I'm gonna run to go meet Carrie Fisher, and I was like, oh, why? I was like, you're gonna kill yourself for 2 lines? He's like, you never know what it might happen. And sure enough, a year later, she passes away.
Right.
You know, and I was like, shit. So whatever year she passed away was the previous year.
Okay, gotcha.
You know, and I felt bad because I like Carrie Fisher a lot. She's like, you know, like I met other people from Star Trek or Star Wars. Like I have a picture with, it's up there. Opa. With Billy D. Williams. You know, and it's like funny. It was during COVID, so everybody's like, no touching.
Right.
No touching.
Yeah.
So, like, I love him, but like, I really regret not meeting them, and that's why, like, whenever we go to shows, take a photo of people, no matter what it is, just do it. You won't regret it. I just need one with Larry Hama, and Adam Kubert, because I have stuff from them, but I've never had a chance to get a photo with them. And even when I met Kevin O'Neill, I should have done that.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish I'd gotten a photo taken with Wrightson.
Yeah, of course.
I met him a handful of times, like 4 or 5 times actually, and I never did because it was back in the 90s. You had to carry a 35mm camera around with you, which when you're at a
Before
show all day,
disposable cameras.
right? Yeah, it's just kind of a pain, so I never bothered. But yeah, same thing. Like Mike Kaluta, he's still around, but I met him. I should have got a picture. Some of these guys who just, people don't live forever, so
yeah.
if
Well,
you like
Joe
their work-
Simon, that camera was taken by, and his attorney took the photo.
Oh, that's cool.
You know what I mean? Like there was
Yeah.
nobody there to take photos. I was like, "Do you mind?" He was like, "Oh hell yeah!" So I have a couple of photos. It was actually his daughter, which is my friend, and she's the one. She's like, "Hey, you want to meet the guy who created Captain America?" I was like, "He's here," and I was like, "Why is he in the back?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's that this is the second New York Comic Con. That one, it wasn't the first one, the 2006 one. This is like the year later.
Okay.
Oh yeah, meet everybody, man. Now every show, Mark Silvestri, this guy, R.L. Stein, the guys from Weathermen, which is my favorite comic book at the moment. Like I stopped buying issues because I want to read them all together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's like the only book I'm reading constantly.
Well,
Did you pick up?
We're gonna meet some people on Sunday because we're going to the Garden State Comic Fest in Morristown.
I forgot about that. So cool,
Yeah.
we're going.
We're going. So it's got a picture with Shaken and maybe with the Simonsons, Walter and Louise. They're both going to be there. Should
Yeah,
be a
you
fun
just
time.
reminded me. I got to pay a guy to come in and work on Sunday.
All right.
Are we gonna do the same swap?
Yeah, sure.
How early can I come?
Let me figure that out.
Yeah, because it's all about Jersey. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's a lot of tolls, so we'll split it, man. I got bread. I'm so happy I got paid. Like everything's coming up Millhouse lately. It's so
There you
cool.
go. It's about time.
Hell yeah, dude! It's gonna be fun. I definitely want you to try and get a sketch from Walt Simonson because I got one. I made a line after some kid was doing it. Walt Simonson, what a great guy for it.
Super nice guy. Yeah, super nice.
He had some little kid, like literally like a 8-year-old, interviewing him for a YouTube show. So he goes, "Listen, since you guys are all waiting online, I'll give everybody a free sketch. I just ask you to donate to the Heroes Initiative."
Oh, that's nice. So
what a great guy. Then he did mine. I threw like, I think $20.
yeah.
He did me a big sketch of Beta Ray Bill and then signed my Beta Ray book. Oh, I can get that CGC slab now.
Yeah.
Dude, oh man, Millhouse. Dude, I forget how great JSA authentication could be because I have so many books signed by people I love.
Mm-hmm.
And but the only problem is I never get stuff like pressed, but I don't really care.
Right.
But I would like to see like a line of that. Oh, bro, if you're into it, let's send out a bunch of books.
I got to dig it out of the closet. I don't know where they are, but yeah, I have a bunch.
I know, but if CGC is doing that, that's the best idea I've ever seen them do because finally they're doing something that we all like.
Yeah.
But I think we're running out of time on this episode anyway.
We are, yeah. One thing before we go, Queen's Comic Party, Brooklyn Invasion, June 29th, 148 Frost
I'm on
Street
down
in Williamsburg. Free admission.
Yep. Say again?
Free admission.
Free admission. Hey, get it while it lasts because now we're getting too many people that we really have to slow down.
Yeah.
And we're doing once-a-month shows. We're going to start getting more artists starting next month. This month's going to be a lot of new vendors.
Good.
A lot of vendors from Long Island showing up with some great comic book collections. We have a authenticator on site, so when we get other guys come in as well. The show's always great. We never have an issue, like since that one time.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that's like 1 in a million. Nobody's that dumb twice. And then on top of that, we get to go everywhere. I forgot we're going to Jersey, so now I'm glad I didn't lose all those last flyers I got. I still got like 100 left.
Yeah, so bring them. Hand them out.
I'm going to bring all of them. So, excellent. So, I guess we'll just end this up.
Yeah.
Queen's Comic Podcast.